Bwah, bwah, bwah. It's another TromBonus episode. It's just Rob, Engineer Joey, and a pocket full of dreams as the night feels our pod. This is no street gospel, but it is our mass as we light the horizon for the band that paid off Matt Collier's mortgage, Bedouin Soundclash. All that and more on Checkered Past, the Ska'd cast.
Oh, hey, oh, what the fuck you doing with your life these days? Oh, hey, oh, what the fuck you doing with yourself? Oh, hey, oh, what the fuck you doing with your life these days? Oh, hey, oh, what the fuck you doing with yourself?
What up, Checkerheads? Welcome to Checkered Past, the Ska'd cast with Celine and Rob, the show where Bring Me the Zion and Job for a Rude Boy explore the history and impact of a different band each episode and hope to bring in new fans along the way. I'm Rob, and joining me today as co-host is Engineer Joey.
Engineer Joey, it's me. Did you pick like metalcore bands because it was me? Very good.
I'm poking my dimples.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was very good.
This was the easiest one. I came, like, all of a sudden I was just like, oh, Joey's coming on. He was talking about deathcore on Twitter the other day. You could probably find some like deathcore bands to do riffs on, and Job for a Rude Boy. I laughed.
Oh, yeah, quality.
I laughed
quality.
very hard.
Yeah, I like that one. And actually, that band's pretty good too. I could not give less of a shit about Bring Me the Horizon. But hey, I guess what it all boils down to is all of this wild music is fun, wild music. And you know what's not too dissimilar? Eichlers. Because I've been listening to that for the last week, too.
We actually, it's funny, we said that we were going to, like, avoid recording last week, the TromBonus, because it's coming out, like, in 2 days. Because we said all we'll talk about is My Checkered Future, because that was, like, all we were listening to for, like, 3 days straight. I was not, like, that fucking Nickel City song.
Jesus.
God, it is, like,
holy smokes.
A goat ska song.
I need help
like,
immediately.
I need help immediately.
Holy smokes. I literally was making pasta in my kitchen by myself last night, and I skanked to that entire track just to irritate my dogs. It was great.
Yeah, like, that album's 20 minutes. Like, it's perfect.
I've played it at least twice a day since it has come out.
Yeah.
No joke. Like,
I mean,
at least, if
you
not
could
more.
easily play it twice a day and it not impact your day
Yeah.
in a really negative way.
I'm
Like,
a machinist,
from a
and
time.
I have to do a task where I sit down in a little cubicle and I like grind stuff with a little hand grinder, and I'll bring my Bluetooth speaker over there. And if I have like a 20-minute segment where I'm grinding, I'll just put on My Checkered Future now. It's the perfect amount of time.
Amazing.
It's great.
It's a good time to be alive.
We love you, Ike.
Oh, yeah. We were actually just talking about, hey, we should bring him back on for something. And we're like, we're definitely bringing him back on not to talk about a band he likes. Like,
Yeah.
We're 100% are bringing him back on to do a band he probably doesn't like a lot.
Absolutely.
Probably Sublime. Like, come on. It's sitting there. We got to slaughter the sacred cow eventually.
Yeah.
We did No Doubt Sublime's next. Well, this was fun.
Yeah. Good intro.
Good intro. So now I guess it's time to do some time skoshing, right?
Hey.
Right?
Oh.
So I'm going to give a shout out to IMSF on Reddit, who did the Lord's work and put together all the Bedouin Soundclash songs in a playlist that are ska or Ska-adjacent. There was, I think, 18 tracks on there. I whittled it down to 11 because 18 songs probably a little too much for a TromBonus. But a huge shout out. This is the second time where a listener went in and got us all the tracks for us. So keep them coming. This will probably be a part of our Discord. So Patreon's on your Discord. This is get us those TromBonuses because they help me. They help me a lot.
Rob
They
does a lot of
mostly help
work,
me.
and these help them a lot.
And today we're talking about a band that we jokingly said when we were doing the Clash episode that, like, oh, this will be the Bedouin Soundclash episode. And someone's like, actually, you should do that. And so we're doing Bedouin Soundclash today. Engineer Joey, what's your relationship with Bedouin Soundclash?
Bedouin Soundclash, I believe, is a Canadian band.
They are indeed.
And they came out at around the same time as Ill Scarlet.
I was about to mention there was a time.
And they are tied in my mind together as at that time I was listening to a lot of like that kind of, I mean, let's just say it, the white boy beach bum reggae.
Beach bum reggae. That's what I call it. Beach bum reggae.
And Ill Scarlet was essentially just like an updated, younger version of Sublime. Like, I feel like they really lifted a lot out of Sublime's playbook. And then I always felt that Bedouin Soundclash was like a more boring reggae-y sort of version of that.
They don't have the punk edge.
No, and
as Ill Scarlet
more,
did.
It is more reggae-y and it is more policey, kind of, in a way.
That's your memory of it? Is that a little bit on the
that's
police
kind of my
side?
memory of it. We did have floating around, like I lived with 4 or 5 roommates in a big house, and we had like a giant CD collection, but it was mostly like a literal stack or pile of CDs that floated around until they got too scratched to play. And we had it, and I remember listening, it was on fairly regularly that summer that the first Bedouin Soundclash album came out. But aside from that, I haven't heard it other than on the radio every now and then. Night Feels My Song.
Definitely on the radio. Yeah. So Bedouin Soundclash, you may be surprised to know, is basically just 2 people.
Oh, okay.
But they are from Canada. They're from Tirana. They started in around 2000. Jay Malinowski is the main dude. He's the singer. Distinct vocals. I think he had some. I don't have this in front of me. I think he had some solo projects. And then Eon Sinclair is the bass player. And then they've had a few different drummers. I think the most recent one, according to my notes here, is Chuck Treese. But basically those 2, the Jay and Eon, are the songwriting duo for Bedouin Soundclash.
Okay.
Yeah, to Joey's point, they are not what you would call a full-blown ska band for sure. They do err on the side of reggae. I would also say they're kind of like indie rock a little bit, but they are about as ska and reggae as Jack Johnson is ska and reggae. Like, I think there's a little bit of that element to it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, they for sure are influenced by it, but whether or not they are actually like a ska band, I don't know. And I bet you if you asked them, they'd be like, oh, whatever, we're not really a ska band. But we like ska, they probably would say.
You know what? It would be a good descriptor for them, which our friends Mini Vandal use. Ska-alternative.
Ska-alternative.
Ugh.
It's hard to say. It's better written than it is said out loud. Bedouin Soundclash has had 5 records. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I absolutely have only since that first record dropped. I've probably I would say whatever songs ended up on the radio I've heard.
So I bet you what you think is the first record is actually their second one.
Okay, I would
Sounding
also,
a Mosaic.
That sounds probably correct. Yeah.
So they self-issued in 2001 an album called Root Fire. I listened to it. Let's start listening to some songs. So this is the first track that we'll listen to that has some ska-ish elements. It's called Back to the Matter from the album Root Fire by Bedouin Soundclash. Almost like a little bit of a world beat-ish.
A lot of their sound is kind of...
Well, I guess that's the Police thing, too, because Police is a little weird. They're just... Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
This is, I mean, that bass line is, I mean, that's basically the one step beyond bass line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part is. It's like coffee shop.
Whoa.
Like
Yes.
coffee shop reggae or ska.
Yes.
Like it's
That I
really
buy.
kind of chill and
Very relaxed. This is not deicide.
No, they're not despising any icons
No.
while they're playing or
No.
anything like that. But it's even like kind of like it's very coffee shop. Like this is the kind of music that like I picture a band that somebody pays to play but sit there and be ignored playing, which is like unfortunate. But I know there are.
This is the exact type of band that would play the Works in Edmonton.
Yeah, totally. Like a band
Like
that's
at an
like
art,
playing,
they'd be at an art festival.
Yeah, usually
while you
they-
go like walk around looking at like some paintings or jewelry that people made in their basement.
Yeah,
Bedouin
absolutely.
Soundclash would be playing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right, I buy that. Okay, cool. We have one more song off of Root Fire. It's called Mandrake Root. I think we'll listen to that before I kind of finish my
I hope
thoughts
it
on
starts
that.
with a clip from Harry Potter, the stupid Mandrake screaming.
It doesn't.
So,
That
yeah.
seems off-brand for them.
I'm into this type of kind of like this guitar and bass doing the same kind of riff.
I always
reggae
love that.
type thing. Yeah.
I always think of it as a Goldfinger thing, like because that's a move they always go on.
Yeah, totally.
But it's always fun. His skanks, like his guitar skanks, are like kind of like that. Like it's not like a
Yeah.
like that's the technical guitar phrasing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm
do.
There. Ding it, ding it. So it's kind of bluesy.
Yeah, I
bluesy.
like this song more than that other one for sure. His vocals are really great.
Do you think he's faking Jamaican a smidge?
Definitely, which is not
Yeah.
great. Not into the kind of fake and Jamaican-y type of thing, but I do like his kind of chill vocal fry. Like he's kind of got like a higher Vic Ruggiero kind of thing going on a little bit.
Minus the thick New York accent.
Yeah, minus all the coolness of Vic Ruggiero's
yeah.
voice.
But he's yeah, you're right. The vocal fry, it's a little like old blues lady type singing. You know what I mean? Like an Etta James or Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
Where they do kind of that kind of thing.
It's very, even just based on these two songs, it's very clearly from a place that's a melting pot. Like Toronto is famously a melting pot city and has a lot of cultures, like kind of like New York, where everyone's in really close proximity and there's a lot of cultural mixing and stuff. I can hear that already on these two songs, knowing that they're from Toronto for sure, you know.
My review of Root Fire is that it's boring as fuck. It is so boring. Oh my god. So Bedouin Soundclash, if you're listening, I'm so sorry to say that, but yeah, that record's rough, man. But I mean, it all sounds the same. That's really the issue. It's like
Samey.
15 tracks and it's that tempo, like whatever 50 beats per minute, and you're just like, oh my god, this better get somewhere. Like, and it doesn't ever.
Yeah.
It's all that tempo, and there's no real variation in the instrumentation.
There's no horns to break
There's
it up
no
or anything
horns.
like that.
Yeah, it's the two of them basically jamming. Like,
Yeah, like
yeah,
you know what?
it's-
I feel like maybe that's from these songs that we've listened to so far. Maybe that's like keys or horns are kind of what's missing to bring it from that coffee shop level up to like a band that I want to see live. You know.
And so Root Fire was popular enough for the band to get signed to Stomp Records.
Cool.
Where
Good for
they
them.
released their follow-up titled Sounding a Mosaic, which I pulled 4 tracks off of. And that album kicks off with a little song called When the Night Feels My Song.
It's as much as it has the grandpa guitars and it's kind of a little like cheesy. It's a good jam.
At least they changed it up a little bit.
Yeah. I do like the kind of. It's like a walking song, you know. I'm going someplace.
It's jaunty.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of a jaunty feel. And anyway, we can let it breathe a little bit. This song was gigantic in Canada.
Huge
Huge
still
song.
Is. Still
Oh
is
yeah,
on
it's
commercial radio.
everywhere.
Say goodbye to the setting sun. See what I found. Turn back to
There's no way they thought this was going to be as big as it turned out. But it was the right time, like you were saying, like with Ill Scarlet on the radio.
Yeah.
And then the bass drops in.
Hey, beautiful day. Hey, beautiful day. Hey, beautiful day.
But yeah, there's no edge.
Hey, beautiful
No,
This is
it's very
this is
chill, very
very-
G-rated.
A little bit of some gospel
Good.
element to it.
Yeah, it's a very good hook.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's infectious.
Yeah,
it's
very
hard
good.
to deny. Yeah, that song
Yeah.
is. It's good. It's good. It's hard to not deny that that's a
These
good song.
days, if I have the radio on in my car and like, oh man, it pretty much half of 2/3 of the songs from Sublime that they play on the radio come up, I will absolutely skip them. But if that song comes up, I will not skip it. That's a good one.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Let's go into track 2. The song is called Shelter. Sounding a Mosaic. Ooh,
This is a police song already.
feels very policey.
That intro is very police. And this was absolutely the record that we had.
Yes,
CD.
Sounding a Mosaic.
Yeah.
It was a breakout for them for sure. There we go.
This is more ska for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's just so mellow.
So mellow.
You know, like this could have so much more energy, but it's just really acousticy and like backyardy.
It's asking for a cover,
Yeah.
you know?
Like I picture this band playing around a campfire and the drummer has like one of those little like cafe drum kits, but he's got like
No
but
way.
He's got like
He's tipped over a garbage can.
he's got one of those little cafe drum kits, but he's got like dish towels and stuff on all the drums, so it's really quiet. You know, you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to wake up the neighbors playing this
Yeah.
chill reggae.
That is probably my favorite song.
Sorry, I talked all over it.
No, it's
Yeah,
okay.
it
It's
was
the
more of a jam,
ska-ist.
for
It's
sure.
the ska-ist song that they have. So I love it. I'm easy to please. Money Worries is the next song we have queued up from the same record. This is a cover, a Maytones cover that has Vernon Maytone on it.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah, and his already
good.
his vocals are so good.
There you go.
Oh yeah, this is a great song. I remember this one being good, but this is a reggae song.
Yeah, well, it's an established
Yeah.
reggae song. Wait,
But now with the organ on it and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
like it's full on reggae instrumentation and
their voices sound great together.
yeah, fantastic.
It's a good harmony. It is nice that it's just like there's no affectation. It's not like a clean harmony. They're just singing together, right?
Yeah, it's pretty pure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot went into this record to make it sound like you were watching these musicians play, I feel like.
A little bit more of a live sound.
Yeah,
I don't think they were much of a live band when they put out their first record. I think they started touring a little bit more after.
This record sounds like it was produced in such a way that they're giving you the effect of like
Yeah.
sitting there watching them play, you know.
Absolutely. And the last song that we have is Music My Rock. Music My Rock. I
Music My Rock Steady?
sure.
Why not?
Whatever you say. It's a little dubby. Man, this is slow.
It's very slow.
I'm not like the biggest dub fan, so with the reverbs.
It's pretty chill, man.
A little bit. Picking up a little bit, but yeah. Making a face.
They really it's
I don't know, man.
as someone who likes their music faster, a lot faster than that usually. I feel like they could have put some more notes in there, man. Like, that was pretty slow. They could have thrown a couple of more notes in there.
Oh, I know, man. So anyway, those are the songs we have from Sounding a Mosaic. It's pretty much their best record. Like, if you want to get into them and you're like, I kind of like what I'm hearing. As you can tell from me and Joey, we're pretty like, eh.
You know what? Now that it's been kind of set into my brain, and the weather in Edmonton here is getting nice. We were actually just sitting out on my patio shortly before this, BSing. I might put Sounding Mosaic on, like, on Spotify while I'm kicking around in the yard in the summer.
It is,
perfectly
harmless, perfectly okay, serviceable, backyard reggae-ish, ska, police.
Have a mojito.
I would say have a mojito.
Have a mojito. Have a nice rum, nice rum drink with some ice.
Is there rum in a mojito?
I don't know. I'm just thinking Jamaican-y kind of stuff.
Mojito, Jamaican?
No, I don't know where No, I guess mojito's probably not. But sorry,
mint julep.
I thought mojito because of Reese Roper loving mojitos.
Oh yeah, right.
And
he's very Jamaican.
But then my mind went, but this band is more reggae-y, so maybe a rum drink.
Yeah.
But we're in Canada, so I should have just said
Cuba Libre.
A light beer.
A Cuba Libre.
Sure.
It's a rum and Coke.
Okay.
Yep. And with that, I think it's time for a break.
Sounds good.
Just coughing right into the mic. Whether this gets left in or not is up to Joey. And when we get back, more Bedouin Soundclash.
Bow.
What the fuck you doing with your life these days? What the fuck you doing with yourself?
All right, welcome back. We're talking Bedouin Soundclash. Me and Joey just had a quick nap because it's been a chill-ass episode so far.
Weed nap.
And so we're going to kick back in. We had just finished talking about their first two records, Root Fire and Sounding a Mosaic. Now we're getting into Street Gospels. That record was released on Dine Alone Records, and I'm just pulling it up now because that's a big record label.
Yeah, they're like a Canadian... Are they not?
They're in Canada, but they're also in the U.S., I believe. And yeah, they got their big break with City and Color.
Oh, yeah.
Is City and Color like a big deal in the U.S.? I guess that's a question. Because, like...
Hey, Chuck Reagan's pretty big, too.
Oh, I mean, I'm just looking at where it started. But City and Color, which is Dallas Green from Alexis on Fire. Yeah. He was a big deal for like a good decade, I'd say. And like City and Color put out a record and it would sell like gangbusters.
And weirdly enough, in Canada here, Alexis on Fire, they were big before they got more singy. Like those first two albums, Watch Out and the self-titled. And the self-titled one. The ones that were the most chaotic and screamy were fucking huge. All of my friends that weren't even into like whatever you want to call that, screamo, post-hardcore, that type of thing. Everybody had those two albums.
Watch Out is very good. Is very good. Yeah, I would say that's like it's still a pretty solid record.
Yeah,
like I'm choosy about my like that type of music. Like Ardent to the Ambulance is probably my favorite. But I would say like Watch Out's pretty high up there too.
Yeah,
like it's really good. Anyway, they're not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about City and Color. We're talking about Bedouin Soundclash. Their next album, Street Gospels, was on a pretty big record label. You're going to notice something, I think, different already with this. So the first single off the album was called Walls Fall Down, and it is Ska-adjacent. So let's play that.
When the walls fall down on your old town.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this song?
Radio song for sure. Yep.
Yeah. I remember that song being on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had these walls built up so strong, built when I was young. In wars I won. What if I'd alone, stone upon stone, so tall I could not see beyond my wall.
A little bit more cinematic.
Yeah.
Walls fall down, and when walls come down on your town, you begin.
Yeah. Perfectly okay. In and out in a minute. The like verse into chorus.
Okay.
And as we
They
talked
did
on
it.
a previous episode, that means you want it on the radio.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is the big change that they have 2 guitars now?
They might have recorded with 2 guitars. I don't know actually.
Because that's the first thing I've heard that's had 2 guitars.
It does. It sounds a lot less backyard. It does sound like it had a little bit more studio zhuzh. Whether or not those were studio musicians or he's just multi-tracking, it doesn't really say on this thing. It's so funny that we were talking about Alexis on Fire because it says here that there was a song on this album that had the dude Wade from Alexis on Fire.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
The Dynalone connection.
Yeah, I guess you're on the label. You could be like, hey, you should come do a screamo thing. All right, no, he's not the screamy guy. He's the other
Who's ever
singer.
heard of that? Label mates just featuring on in each other's songs? Wild.
That sounds like a thing. Somebody must be
Who
doing
does
that.
that?
The other track I have queued up is called Trinko Dog. I think it's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I said it wrong. But anyway, that's the song.
I don't know how else you would pronounce that.
And this album was on Side One Dummy in the US.
Oh, that's cool.
I love Side One Dummy. That's a great label. I hope they didn't do anything shitty. I don't think so. But there's a lot of classic records on Side One Dummy.
Put out some good Suicide Machines records.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys, they're turned the tempo up like 10 BPMs. Come on.
I know.
Wow.
It's just going right into the reggae.
But this is even slow for reggae.
So, you know what else was big at this time to contextualize? This would have been at the time when on the radio you would have had Against Me, like the new wave. And it's kind of catchy. Oh man, what's that band? What's a band from, I think they're from Boston. Fuck, I can't even think. And they were on Side One Dummy. God damn it. I'm blanking on names right now.
He's looking it up.
I'm using my favorite website, Wikipedia. Gaslight Anthem. That's the band I was thinking of. They would have been on the radio at this time too.
Okay.
Which is all like kind of, I don't know, like indie punk, right? That's like not really punk. Like when Hot Water Music was, I guess, like a big deal, or like post Hot Water Music. I don't know.
You're just listing off a bunch of bands I don't like.
Man, Hot Water Music was like everyone's favorite.
Everyone in Edmonton loved it, and
Yeah.
I could not get on board. I was like, I don't get it. I just don't really get the appeal. Personally, it's not for me. It sounded like Bruce Springsteen with a distortion pedal.
Correct. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, I don't like it. No thanks.
So that kind of wraps up that. That's the only 2 songs I pulled from that album. Both cases, very much the let's get this in and out in a minute. They really want to be.
Down is a pretty well written song.
That's good.
That
Poppy.
Yeah, that dropping out the drums and then kicking in midway through the chorus is a solid move. It's good.
Especially if you want this to be like an arena-sized song, like
Yeah,
you're gonna play like a
totally.
big festival or something. That's when you make it so super widescreen production, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, they had quite a bit more money to pay for that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep going, and we're gonna go to the next album that was released in 2010 called Like the Horizon. This was self-released, but I believe it was published through Sony. I don't remember this. I kind of remember this album coming up, but I don't remember any of these songs when I pulled it up. So, was there any? Oh yeah, the first single is Mountaintop, and that's the first song that I have queued up. So let's listen to Mountaintop.
It all came down to
I do like
this
the
kind of
drums.
like breakbeat sort of drum thing. That's cool.
there's not much left to
Kind of like multi-percussive a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Polyrhythm, bro.
that's the word I was looking for. Polyrhythm.
hotel rooms in nowhere. But we're climbing back up to the mountaintop.
I absolutely like this song the most out of this batch of songs we've heard so far. I think I heard some overdrive for a moment on that guitar.
A little bit, right?
Just a touch.
They definitely pulled it back a little bit. This doesn't sound as huge arena rock as like the last record a little bit. This is a little bit more kind of like the first couple records, but still like clearly got more money.
Yeah.
Writing like crisper songs.
Yeah, that was okay.
That was fun. Mm-hmm. The next one is A Chance of Rain. Chance of Rain.
Okay, the Beatles.
All right.
This has a better feel tempo-wise. Like this is the correct tempo. I feel like most of their slower stuff before this has been 5 or 10 BPMs too slow. This is like
hitting the right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, they got that. I just noticed it now. Oh. Hey, there's some horns.
Nice. As close to ska as you get with horns.
And you know what? It's not very ska, but I do like the kind of like Stevie Wonder style electric piano thing. They kind of go.
It's what we said on those first two albums that first album that was kind of dull. It's like you can't like it was just like they needed more instrumentation. They needed something.
Keys and horns.
Keys and horns.
Keys and horns.
Keys and horns. Polyrhythms. Overdrive the guitar once in a while. Just try. Just try a little bit. But get that acoustic guitar out. Like you want to. Like there's no way Jay isn't like just like itching to bring the grandpa guitar out whenever he can. He's like, ooh, I gotta have this.
Oy.
Anyway, so that's that record. So the other so before we get into the last song that I've queued up, some more facts about this band. So Daryl Jennifer of Bad Brains produces pretty much all their music.
Cool.
Yeah, they have a really
connection.
tight relationship with them. I forgot to mention this up top, but the song that song When the Night Feels My Song came out at the same time as Photograph by Nickelback and Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day. What a fucking awful time to be in music.
Man.
Jesus.
You know what? It's a
Those
good
songs are
thing
awful.
at that point in my life, I had no interest in whatever was going on in commercial music. Like now I like to kind of keep a pulse on what's going on in pop just because I don't want to feel old and like completely out of the loop. But at that time I was like, if it's not a melodic hardcore band or skate punk or something, if it's not a show that I can get into for $10 and get fucking shit-faced, I'm not interested.
In 2005 or right now?
Well, I mean, we've come full circle. Both.
Both. Yeah, if I'm going out to a show, it needs to be me. There needs to be some purpose. I need to have a reason to be there.
Yeah.
And as we had mentioned with when we were talking to Chris the other day, the last ska show that was in Edmonton was the Planet Smashers show that we did the interview on, which would have been in September.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been sad.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Oh, we're talking about other podcasts now.
Oh, jeez.
So the last song is off of an album that came out very recent. So they were pretty much like silent for almost a decade. And then they came back around, the duo, to record another album in 2019 called Mass that was released on Easy Star Records. The record label that does like the Easy Star All-Star stuff.
Love Easy Star. It's good.
Yeah, that stuff is cool. And as much as I'm like picky about my dub, those dub records are phenomenal. They're really fun.
They make
Dub
me
Side
like,
of the Moon.
They make me like records
Choice.
that I didn't like before they were dubby reggae ska versions of them, like the Radiohead one. I have no interest in Radiohead at all, but that.
I used to work with somebody who like
album's great.
swore up and down and said, "There's a Radiohead album for everybody." I think there's a Radiohead album for you, and I was like, "There isn't."
Nope.
I promise you, I don't like them, and
Yeah.
I can't be bothered.
It's not their alternative rock, and it isn't their weird acid music either. So I don't want any of it.
It was like
Thanks.
when I was really getting into metal, and somebody was like, "Oh, I think you'll like Muse," and I'm like, "I don't think you understand what I like. Like, I don't think you understand like." It doesn't have to be Britpop. There doesn't always have to be this Britpop connection that you have to bring me back to. Like I like Blur, kinda. I like the Gorillaz more than I like Blur, and that's about as close as I'm gonna get, I'd say. Man, I'm sounding grumpy on this episode. What's going
we're
on?
just shitting on stuff.
I'm I'm grumpy about everything. I hate Nickelback. I don't like. Anyway, that's not new. Anyway, so we have one track off of there. And the song is called Better Days
Better Days. Here
off
we
of
go.
Mass by Bedouin Soundclash.
I woke up in the morning, didn't see it coming. Raindrops kept on falling, that storm coming without warning.
This is kind of fun, even though it's acousticy. It's kind of more produced, like hip hoppy almost. Got a kind of
Even dance hall, maybe?
yeah, dance hall, totally.
Who are they for them to say righteous, dealing in some hearsay? But when I woke up
Yeah,
in the
horns.
morning, everything was frozen.
Fake horns, but horns.
Yeah.
Way up there above me,
I don't give a shit if they're fake.
life and all my belongings. And it has to make you wonder, righteous, drop up on the shoulder. Better days will come again.
I kind of like this falsetto-y thing. That's cool.
Can I tell you something? I fucking love this.
Yeah, this is good.
This is really good. Like, this is like the story. This is how I end this story. Is that I love that song. I never heard that record. And that was the only song that was positioned to me. And I was like, as I was going through this, I was like, oh God, this is 18 songs and they all kind of sound the same. Oh man, we're getting there. And then this song came on and I was like, hot damn, this is actually like really good.
Yeah, actually,
I loved it.
That one song was off their most recent record, and then the last two songs before that were from the previous record.
Yeah.
I'd be more willing to listen to these last two records, I think, than anything before that.
Yeah.
It just kind of was more my jam. I feel like they're more kind of on the tempo that I prefer.
Yeah.
And they've kind of whittled. I feel like they had a record or two that were really small, and then they did a really big record. And then by these last couple, they've kind of found that sweet spot where it's like you got to sound at least this big, but not so big, you know?
And I think like with this last one, since there's like a 10-year gap almost between their two records, what's cool is like it sounds very I don't want to say bedroomy, but it definitely sounds like they were just having more fun in the studio. Maybe
I also did not want to use the term bedroomy, but it definitely sounds more DIY in a good way.
Yeah,
like more fun.
They were playing around with their like brought the Casio out and they were just like fucking around on it or whatever it was. Like they had some different drum samples. Like you said, like he's got a falsetto that I never heard him break out before.
Yeah,
like
totally.
It actually sounds more like, and it doesn't sound like they have any intention of getting that song on the radio.
No, it
Like,
sounds like they just made a cool song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I think that matters. Like, I don't know. When you listen to a song and you're just like, this is good, but I clearly think they were trying to get a radio hit out of it. And you're like, I don't know, man.
Unless it's so on the nose that it makes you laugh about it, then it's
little
fine.
bit.
Sometimes I'm like, wow, they wrote this song
Yeah.
specifically for the radio, and that cheekiness makes me laugh personally. But I get what you mean for sure.
Yeah. Every single song on Dookie, for example.
Yeah, totally.
Dookie's a weird
And then
album to listen to.
every single song on American Idiot,
Yeah.
in a completely different sense, because
Yeah.
I love every song on Dookie and I hate every song on American Idiot.
I feel like I was missing something about American Idiot. Like, some people really liked it, and I was like, I don't know.
Green Day's had 3 eras. I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't like to be a hater, but I definitely fit into like column 2. They had their like first when they first started out, when they were a real punk band, and then they
the Lookout-
sold out, and then they
the Lookout
became
Records, yeah.
like, and then Dookie came out and they sold out, and then they put out a run of albums that ended with
Insomniac?
no, Nimrod. in my
Nimrod,
opinion.
yes.
Nimrod was choice. I love those 3 or 4 albums, whatever they put out between Dookie and Nimrod. And then after that, they put a Warning, which was too acousticy for me. And then they put out a couple albums I didn't pay attention to. And now they're full on arena rock, and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think they even said that they're more like they think of themselves as like a garage rock band now.
Yeah, which is fine. It's not for me. But but that's like, I kind of am that middle era of Green Day is sort of the Green Day that I like, and I just can't get into.
And I think
stuff.
they couldn't give 2 shits about what we think about
Nope,
them.
not at all.
They're going to
They're
sell
good.
out arenas for the rest of their lives.
They have a stronger demographic loving them these days, and it's younger people than me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Fun fact: I did go to a Green Day concert after the turn, like during, I think, the American Idiot, or maybe the one after that, the Boulevard of Broken Dreams tour or whatever. And I went to the show, and I sat through an hour of their new music, and they made no mention of their old music. And I was there with the old bass player from my band, and I just leaned over to him and was like, "Dude, I don't think I can handle any more of this," because Billy Joe at one point. First of all, he was just swearing way more than he needed to be.
He swears a lot. Like, that's actually like a thing he does.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been watching Green Day videos since the 90s, but this was like he was clearly putting it on to be like a rock star at a show where they're like to be Kiss for these kids who are like 11 or 12 and there with their parents. I get that. It was too much for me, though. It was too much putting it on.
Oh, yeah.
And then to not like, I've been told by a couple other people who went to the show after that they like an hour and 20 minutes into their show, they did 40 minutes straight of old music, which is fine, but that was 20 minutes after I left, man. So, oh well. Like, it just wasn't for me. Like, I really didn't enjoy myself. And especially at that time, I was playing shows like every handful of weeks and going to literally every show that rolled into town.
Yeah.
I was just like, I would rather be at a 50 or 100 cap venue watching a band that's like sweating it out and fucking playing real shit than some guys that have been doing it for 20 or 30 years and are like playing Rockstar, you know?
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
I can't imagine like, even with the Interrupters playing, I can't imagine myself going out to like a Green Day show right now. So anyway,
Yeah.
well, that's our show. Kind of like, just listening to so much chill music has put me in like a weird headspace. Like, usually we listen to such high energy music, and this was like so chill. But that's fine. And you know what? It's me and engineer Joey just hanging out with everybody.
I've been known to be a chill dude.
That's true. He is the chillest of dudes.
I'm a chill dude.
So thanks for listening to Checkered Past. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at checkeredpastpod, or send us an email at checkeredpastpod@gmail.com. Ask a question, suggest bands, bring us games to play. We have merch available at checkeredpast.ca and have set up a Checkerhead Patreon where you can get full uncut episodes in video form, including today's episode.
Hey.
Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, and rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. This episode is produced and engineered by Joey, who also makes the playlist featuring music from today's episode.
You can check it out and have a rummy mojito in your yard.
Our theme song is OAO by Edmonton's own Mad Bomber Society. Next week, we have Reese Roper on the podcast to discuss Less Than Jake. So until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Joey.
And in the immortal words of Bedouin Soundclash, walls fall down like a stone fall down, and I'm not a stone.